Welcome to my channel. Alright, imagine this. You wake up, scroll your feed, and boom! Mazda has finally pulled the covers off the 2026 CX-30. And wow, this one feels different, like really different. This isn't just a mild refresh or a new wheels, new color kind
Welcome
of
back to the Auto
This feels
Insight,
like
where we
Mazda
don't just
turning a
talk cars, we
page.
decode the
And
future
honestly,
on
it
for
might
wheels.
be the most interesting
If you're new
CX-30
here,
they've
this is the
ever
place where
made.
design,
So,
engineering,
let's talk about
and
it.
real-world
At
usability
first
meet
glance,
honest
the design
storytelling.
hits you with a
And
more
today,
confident,
we're stepping
more
into that
grown-up
sweet
vibe.
spot between
The
premium feel
CX-30
and
still
everyday
has that
practicality
sleek,
with the
flowing
2026
Mazda
Mazda
look, but it's sharper
CX-30.
now.
The
front end
CX-30
looks
has always
wider
lived in
and
an
lower,
interesting
with slimmer
space.
headlights that give it a
Not
more
trying to be the
aggressive
biggest,
stare.
loudest,
The grille
or most
feels
aggressive
cleaner,
crossover
more
in the
premium,
room,
and the
but
body
quietly
lines are
confident,
smoother,
like it knows
more
something the
muscular
others
at the
don't.
same time.
For
It kind of walks this
2026,
perfect
Mazda
line
continues
between
refining that
sporty
philosophy,
crossover
focusing
and
less on
upscale
chasing
daily
trends
driver.
and more on
And here's the
perfecting
thing,
balance
it
between
no
style
longer
and
screams
substance,
Japanese
performance and
economy
efficiency,
crossover.
simplicity
Instead,
and
it leans
technology
into that
from the
European,
outside.
almost
The
Italian
2026
sense of style
CX-30
Mazda's
feels
been
like
chasing
motion
lately.
frozen in time.
If you've ever thought,
Mazda's
why does this
design
Mazda
language
feel like it
continues
has a
to
little
evolve in
Alfa
subtle ways,
Romeo
and that's
attitude?
the key word
Yeah,
here,
that
subtle.
feeling
The
is
body
stronger than
surfaces
ever
look
here.
smoother, more
Around the
intentional,
sides, the
almost
cladding
sculpted
is
by
more
airflow
refined,
rather than
not
sharp
as bulky
creases.
or plasticky as
The
before.
proportions still
The
feel
wheels are
compact
bigger,
and
better
athletic,
designed,
but there's a
and the
maturity
rear
to the stance
finally
now.
looks as good as the
It
front.
looks planted,
Slimmer
low,
tail
and
lights,
confident,
cleaner
especially
bumper,
when
and a
viewed from
more
the side,
planted
with a long
stance
hood
overall.
and short rear
It just looks
overhang give it a
expensive
slightly
now,
rear
like something
bias.
you'd double take
Almost
at in a
sport
parking
wagon
lot.
vibe rather than
But
a
the big
traditional
news
SUV
everyone's
feel.
talking about is
Mazda's
what's
obsession
under
with
the hood.
paint deserves its own
Mazda
moment.
is finally going
Expect
all
new
in
or
on a
refined
hybrid
color
setup for
options
the
that change
CX-30.
character depending
Not
on
some
light bright in the
half-hearted
sun,
system, but
deep
a
and
proper
liquid at
hybrid
dusk.
designed to balance
Paired with darker
performance
trim
and
elements
efficiency.
and refined
It's
wheel
smooth,
designs, the
quiet, and
CX-30
responsive.
continues to punch
Exactly
above its
what you'd
class
expect
visually,
from Mazda's
often being
driver-first
mistaken for something far
philosophy.
more
You
expensive
get
than
better
it
fuel
actually
economy,
is on the
especially
road.
in city
The
driving, but it
CX-30
still
isn't
feels
about brute
lively
force
when you
numbers
step on
or
it.
headline grabbing
Acceleration is
specs.
more instant,
It's about
power
how
delivery
everything
feels
works
more
together.
natural, and the car
Steering
just
feels
lighter
deliberate
on its
and
feet.
connected.
This
The
is not one
chassis
of those
communicates
hybrids
what
that
the
feels
tires
numb
are
or
doing, and the
disconnected.
suspension is
Mazda
tuned for real
clearly
roads,
tuned this
not
to
just
still
smooth
be
test
fun,
tracks.
which is kind of their thing.
This is the kind
And
of
yes,
vehicle that makes a
all-wheel
daily
drive
commute
is
feel
still
less like a
very much
task and
part of
more
the
like a
story.
moment of calm
The
focus.
2026 CX-30
Mazda's
leans
philosophy of
harder
making the
into its
car respond
off-road
naturally
ready
to
image,
human input
even
is
though
still
it's
very much alive
much
here,
an
and
urban
it shows every
crossover.
time you turn the
Ground
wheel,
clearance
under
has
the
been
hood.
slightly
The
improved,
2026
traction
Mazda
systems are smarter,
CX-30
and there's a
continues
new
to lean
drive
into
mode
efficiency
designed
without
for loose
sacrificing
surfaces like
personality.
dirt, gravel,
Mazda's
and snow.
Skyactiv
This isn't a
engineering
rock
approach
crawler,
focuses on
obviously,
extracting
but
more
it's
usable
confident
performance
than
from internal
before if your
combustion
weekend
rather than
plans
relying
include
purely on
dirt roads,
downsizing or
camping
electrification
spots, or bad
buzzwords.
weather. Basically,
Depending on the
it's kind
market,
of car that
expect
doesn't
refined
panic
naturally
when the pavement
aspirated
ends.
and turbocharged
Now
options
let's talk about
with
the
improved
interior,
responsiveness
because
and
this
smoother
is where
power
Mazda
delivery.
really flexes.
The goal here
You
isn't
step
just
inside,
acceleration,
and it
it's
honestly
control,
doesn't feel like a
predictability, and
compact
efficiency in
crossover
real-world
anymore.
driving.
The materials
Advanced
are
engine
better,
management
the layout is
systems
cleaner,
work quietly
and
in the
everything
background,
feels more
constantly
intentional.
adjusting fuel
Soft
delivery
touch
and
surfaces
combustion
are
timing to
everywhere,
match driving
stitching
conditions.
looks upscale,
The
and
result is an
overall
engine
design
that feels awake when you
calm
want it to be,
focused,
and
not
relaxed when you
cluttered,
don't.
tech overloaded.
Paired with an
The
intelligent
infotainment
all-wheel
screen
drive
is larger
system on
now
select
and
trims,
positioned more
the
naturally, so
CX-30
you're
can
not
subtly
reaching
shift
or
power to
squinting.
where it's needed
It's
most,
quicker,
improving
smoother,
traction
and way
without the
easier to
driver
use.
ever noticing the
Physical
complexity
controls
behind
are
it.
still
Let's talk
here.
interior.
Thank you,
Now,
Mazda.
stepping
So you're
inside
not
from this
stabbing
is
at a
where the
touchscreen just to
CX-30 really
change the
separates
temperature.
itself. The
The
interior
seats are
feels
more
more like a
supportive and
thoughtfully
more
designed,
comfortable,
living space than a
especially for
traditional
longer
compact
drives.
crossover
Rear
cabin.
passengers get a
Mazda's
bit more
approach
breathing
is
room,
almost
and cargo
minimalist,
space
but not
is
cold.
slightly improved too.
Materials
It's
are
still
chosen
compact,
carefully,
but
with
it
soft
feels
touch
smarter in
surfaces
how
where
it
your
uses
hands
space.
naturally rest,
And the
and clean
sound
lines that
insulation,
reduce visual clutter.
noticeably better.
One of the most
The cabin
advanced
is
yet
quieter,
understated
more
details
refined,
is how the
and just more
interior is
relaxing
designed
overall.
around human focus.
This is one of those cars where you
The
get in,
infotainment
shut the
display
door,
is positioned
and the
higher
outside
and
world
farther
just
away
kinda
than in many
fades away.
competitors, reducing
Now
eye
let's talk
movement
about
and
pricing,
keeping attention
because
closer
this
to the
is where
road.
things get interesting.
Controls are intuitive,
Mazda is
physical
clearly
where it matters,
positioning the
and deliberately
2026
resistant to
CX-30
overcomplication.
a bit higher than before.
Instead of
It's not
overwhelming
trying
you
to
with
be the
menus,
cheapest
the
option
system
anymore.
prioritizes the
Instead, it's
information
going
you
after
actually
buyers
need
who
when
want
you
something
need it.
nicer
Seating
without
comfort
paying
is another
luxury
area
brand
where
money.
Mazda goes deeper
Expect
than
the starting
most.
price to creep
The
up
seat
slightly,
structure is
especially
designed
with
to
the
support
hybrid
the
tech.
pelvis in
But
a
when
more
you
natural
factor in the
position,
design,
reducing fatigue
interior
on
quality,
longer
and
drives.
driving experience,
This
it
isn't
actually
something
makes
you
a lot of
notice
sense.
immediately, but after an hour behind the wheel,
models,
you feel the
this one
difference.
feels more premium,
Cabin
more
insulation
refined,
has
and more
also been
confident
improved
in what it
with
wants
better
to be.
sound, a deadening
The previous
materials that
generation
reduce
were
road
great,
and wind
but they
noise,
sometimes
creating a
felt
calm,
caught between
almost
budget
premium
and
atmosphere
upscale.
even at
This
highway
one, it
speeds.
knows exactly
Technology
who it's
in the
for.
2026
And that brings us
CX-30
to the
feels
big
smart
question.
rather than
Is
flashy.
this the best CX-30
Driver
yet?
assistance systems
Honestly,
work quietly in the
yeah, it
background,
probably
offering
is.
support
It
without
looks better,
constant alerts
drives
or
smarter,
interruptions.
uses less fuel,
Everything
and
is tuned to
feels
feel
more
like a
expensive
co-pilot,
without
not a
losing that
supervisor.
fun,
Even small
driver-focused
details,
personality
like how the
Mazda
climate
fans
system
love.
adjusts
It
airflow,
doesn't try
or how
to be
ambient lighting
flashy or
subtly
gimmicky.
enhances the
It
cabin
just
at night,
feels well
show a
thought
level of
out,
thought that
well
goes
built,
beyond the
and
spec sheet
genuinely
as a
enjoyable.
complete package.
So, if you've
The
been waiting for a
2026
compact
Mazda
crossover that
CX-30
doesn't
isn't
feel
trying
boring,
to reinvent
that
the
doesn't feel
crossover.
cheap, and still makes you
Instead,
smile
it refines
behind the
what
wheel,
already
the
works,
2026
polishing every
CX-30
interaction
might be
until the
worth
vehicle
wait.
feels cohesive
And now I
and
want to hear
intentional.
from you. Do
It's
you
a
like
car
the
for
new
people who
direction
care
Mazda
about
is
how
taking,
something feels,
or do you miss
not
the
just how
older,
it looks on
simpler
paper.
CX-30
And
vibe?
that's what makes it
Drop
special.
your thoughts in the comments.
In a market
Hit that
crowded
like
with
button
loud
if you
designs
enjoyed
and
this first
over-promising
look.
tech,
And don't
the
forget to
CX-30
subscribe for
chooses a
more car
different path
news
one
and
of quiet
real-world
confidence,
takes. I'll see you in the
human-centered
next one.
engineering, and time